White pawn marches to d4. Black knight marches to f6. White pawn marches to c4. Black pawn marches to b6. White pawn marches to f3. Black pawn marches to c5. White pawn marches to d5. Black pawn marches to e5. White pawn marches to e4. Black pawn marches to d6. White knight marches to c3. Black bishop marches to e7. White bishop marches to e3. Black knight marches to h5. White queen marches to d2. Black pawn marches to h6. White pawn marches to g3. Black bishop marches to g5. White pawn marches to f4. Black pawn captures pawn at f4. White pawn captures pawn at f4. Black bishop marches to h4 and gives check. White king escapes check at d1. Black kingside castling. White bishop marches to d3. Black rook moves sideways to e8. White knight marches to e2. Black pawn marches to f5. White rook moves sideways to g1. Black pawn captures pawn at e4. White knight captures pawn at e4. Black bishop marches to f5. White knight marches to c3. Black bishop captures knight at e4. White bishop captures bishop at e4. Black queen marches to e7. White king marches to c2. Black knight retreats to f6. White bishop marches to f5. Black queen captures bishop at e3. White bishop marches to e6 and gives check. Black rook captures bishop at e6 and breaks check. White pawn captures rook at e6. Black queen captures queen at d2 and gives check. White king captures queen at d2 and breaks check. Black knight marches to c6. White pawn marches to f5. Black knight marches to e5. White pawn marches to b3. Black knight marches to f3 and gives check. White king escapes check at d3. Black knight captures rook at g1. White rook captures knight at g1. Black rook moves sideways to f8. White knight marches to b5. Black knight retreats to e8. White king marches to e4. Black pawn marches to d5 and gives check. White pawn captures pawn at d5 and breaks check. Black pawn marches to a6. White pawn marches to d6. Black pawn captures knight at b5. White king marches to e5. Black knight captures pawn at d6. White king captures knight at d6. Black rook captures pawn at f5. White pawn marches to e7. Black bishop captures pawn at e7 and gives check. White king captures bishop at e7 and breaks check. Black rook marches to f2. White rook marches to g6. Black rook captures pawn at a2. White rook captures pawn at b6. Black rook captures pawn at h2. White rook captures pawn at b5. Black rook moves sideways to e2 and gives check. White resigns and black wins the game.